had to move to another site yesterday. We had 4 nights in one spot, and then we got like 6 more in this one. But we're all ready for the 4th of July, as you can see. We're all decorated up. This is 4th of July today, but this is not a bad site. So this is a single site in the Redhead, and this one's $35 a night. It's got full hookups, sewer, 30 amp, and water. So it's not too bad, but lots of foliage here. Lots of shade. Lots of shade here in this spot. The next spot's a little ways away, so got a little privacy. They do have a fire pit, but again, they have the fire restrictions on here. There's the restrooms down there, but yeah, this is a nice spot. One of the things I'm concerned about at this park is the voltage levels here. They're really low. So it's not too bad right now. You can see right there we're at 111. And we only have the air conditioner going. So we have the air conditioner, the TV, the converter that charges the battery, and that's it. So the other day I wasn't even thinking about, I hope I didn't damage my air conditioner, but I turned on the hot water heater on electric. I didn't even think about it, and I think it went that way for a few hours. And I just happened to glance at this and it said 101. Now, the surge protector that we have should have shut off on that. So I have one here. I bought these off Amazon. I think it was, I don't know, 10, 12 bucks for a pair of them. I'll put the other one in here in the bathroom so we can kind of see him. But I've shown this before, and in fact I made a video just on this, on low voltages at these parks. This is the only place I've ever experienced low voltage, but this has a nice app to it. And of course I can't open it now. And you can see here that says 114. I have a multimeter, and I checked this the other day. So inside, those ones that I showed you that just plug in, they're about 1 to 2 volts off on the low side. So this is pretty accurate, this app. This is coming from the watchdog here. And I hope I didn't damage the AC. The AC requires a minimum of 104 volts up to I think it's 130, 132. This watchdog is supposed to shut off at 104 and 132. So I didn't shut off the other day, so I'm feeling confident that we were still at 104. So it was close, and I didn't actually catch it the first day. It was the second day when I turned on the hot water heater. I looked, and it actually said 100. So, I mean, it had only been on for a few seconds. I went over and turned it off, and then we used the propane hot water. And so, obviously, if you're using your microwave and your air conditioner, you're not going to be able to do that here at this park. And this is like the third site that it's like that. I don't know if their supply line is too low of wire, too small a wire gauge here or what, but that's just a tip. If you're RVing here, you got to watch out when you're using your air conditioner and say your microwave or electric hot water heater or hair dryer. You're not going to have enough, and you could actually damage that compressor on your AC. So hopefully I didn't. It's been running fine ever since. So I think we're good. I just wanted to show that and share that little tip. This is a real nice surge protector. I got it on sale, and I got it a few years ago. I actually got it before we even had this trailer. But I really like the app. You can reset it up here at the top. It just went up. You can reset it right here and keep track of your energy that you're using. So I reset that when we came to the park. So we've used 47.3 kilowatt hours, and I think we've been here since Thursday. So, but you can see there, we're at 114 volts, 12 amps. I think that AC is using about 8 amps after it's running. So anyway, I just thought I'd show that, and you don't want to damage any DC or AC motors when you're camping out here. This is the only park I've ever seen that. We go to a lot of these state parks, and I've never seen that before. Even with my generator, it doesn't have any issue at all supplying enough power. This is my 2015 Ram. It's the Ram 1500 with the 5.7 Hemi. It also has the 8-speed transmission. I think it's got 395 horsepower and I think 415 torque, somewhere in there, and 392 gears. And it tows my trailer really well. When I'm towing, I use the tow haul button, which I think keeps it in a gear longer and then shifts later to give you higher RPMs. Also, what I do is I use this gear selector and toggle through till I get the it shows on the dash up to the 8th gear, and then it'll shift just as normal as it does in automatic. There's no difference. The only thing it's doing is turning off the MDS, which shuts off 4 of the pistons. And I've seen some of these Hemis they call it the Hemi tick, and I think it's either an exhaust, or 2, it's the lifters, the roller bearings, and I think that could be from a lack of oil circulation due to that MDS shutting off 4 pistons. That's just some of the theories I've seen online and on some videos, but that's what I do. You're basically just shutting off your MDS, and it still shifts just as normal. There's no difference. And then I use the tow haul. Also, when I'm climbing up these big hills, like going up to Payson, then in and on up to Heber, I'm towing 8,600 pounds. We're really loaded. We're up here for a week and a half, so we have lots of food and lots of drink. But what I do on those big hills, I only tow this around 62, 63 on the interstate. But coming up those big hills, I let it drop down to around 4,000 RPM. And I think that's around 4th gear, and it has quite a bit of power in that gear, and I can maintain 58 to 60 miles an hour at 4,000 RPM. I don't know if there's been any other occasion that I couldn't maintain that, but I can accelerate, but it's going to drop down to a lower gear, and you're going to shoot your RPMs up, and I try to avoid that. But so that's how I tow. One other thing I did when I first bought this 8 years ago exactly, let's see if I can see it. I painted the axle and the suspension. I pulled the wheels and tires off, and I just used some Rust-Oleum and painted it all black. And that helps keep it clean. You can just rinse it off with a hose and get most of the dirt. Otherwise, it gets all chalky. That's just one thing, helps keep it clean. And we still have our electric bikes. We bought these 4 years ago, and they're holding up really well. My wife doesn't ride hers as much. I think I have 1,700 miles on mine, and the range is starting to drop on the batteries. They're getting older. Right now, we could probably go 25 miles just on the battery alone, but if you do pedal assist, you can go a long ways.
You could probably go 50 miles, depending on how much you use your battery, but I can go about 30 miles an hour with the on mine. Um, there's some settings you can change in there, but these are the original XP, I believe. Yeah, the XP. I don't think they make this model anymore, but these have held up really well. They're really fun. There's a few hills here. Makes it easier to ride. And the reason we had to leave our other site, we could only get, last year when I made these reservations, I could only get 4 at one site and 6 at this one. So it's really difficult to get to string together a whole week in here. This is such a popular place, and as you can see, it's a really nice place. 2 of these loops have sewer, so everybody wants these, and then you got the lake just down there. You can't see it through these trees, but the lake's just down the hill down there. And we're going to talk a little bit about campground etiquette. So we were waiting on this site. Checkout time is noon here, and there were some tenters in here, and they pretty much just relaxed all morning, had their lunch, and they were going to another spot, which is fine. Checkout's not till noon. You don't have to leave till noon. But you know, they could have had everything ready, and we were waiting to move here. Somebody was waiting to move to our old spot, so there's 3 of us waiting on these people, and Ranger wasn't too happy because their site was ready before 11 and they could have moved. Well, they waited. They didn't get out of here till 12:35, and the Ranger wasn't too happy. The Ranger was sitting over here watching them pack up. They also had the landscaper crew in here cutting the grass while they were still packing up. So, you know, that's some of the things that, you know, be considerate. And when we were in our other spot, over in another loop, you could hear music at 10 o'clock at night, and they're playing cornhole, and that's fine. You know, you're enjoying your vacation out here, but just because you have speakers on the outside of your camper doesn't mean you can sit out here and crank your music. I have only used these speakers outside once, and that was when we were in quartzsite because there's no one around us. I don't want to bother anybody. I don't want to listen to somebody else's music. Maybe I like it, maybe I don't. If somebody's playing country, I don't care for country, but that's fine. That's their music. You know, just kind of turn it down a little bit and don't walk through people's campsites. I haven't experienced that too much, but I have seen it. Some people were cutting through our neighbor's campsite to get up to the road. You don't do that. You just don't do that. It's not polite unless you ask. We asked this neighbor over here across the street yesterday if we could park our bikes over there while we're waiting on these tenders to move, because we didn't want to be, they were moving right into our spot to clean it up. And he was nice enough and said, sure, no problem. I told him we were moving right over here, and he's like, yeah, no problem. But just ask people and be considerate with the noise that you make. These sites are distanced pretty good, but I try not to bother people. I don't want to be bothered. I come here, everybody comes here for peace and quiet. You know, you don't want to listen to someone else's music. If it's not too loud, that's fine. And what I do is I use a little Bluetooth box, and I don't usually listen to music. We listen to talk radio shows, or we listen on iHeart to Legends of the Old West or some history stuff. I know when you're young you like music, but just be considerate. But this is a great place. Really like it here. I want to wish everybody a happy Independence Day. Even with all the problems we got in our country, we still got the best country. And there's always going to be problems. So have a great week. Have a great day today. Celebrate our independence. Best country in the world. Got my flags all flying. Just went to the parade in Sholo. Had a great time. Lots of patriots there. Great to see a lot of patriots out celebrating our country. So have a great day. Take it easy.